Hi everyone, and welcome to this month's video, and also the last video of the year. I'm not really gonna miss 2023, because in a lot of ways it was terrible, but I think the end of the year makes us all feel a little bittersweet. It's a time to both celebrate what we've accomplished this past year, and look forward to the future for what maybe we can do better in the next one. Since I've been feeling a little bit reflective, I thought I'd share my goals for the coming year, while I work on some animation. If you have any artwork yourself that you want to get done, feel free to grab it and a hot tea or some type of hot beverage, and let's dive in. So, my goals. First of all, I don't have any. Shocking, I know. I know this is a time of year to set yourself up for success, but if COVID taught me anything, it's that you cannot plan anything. You can make the perfect detailed plan that accounts for every possible hiccup, and life still has a way of going wrong. So instead of goals, I have nice to haves. These are just things that would be nice to happen in the next year, but if they don't or something else happens instead, that's fine too. No harm, no foul. It takes a lot of stress off to just have nice to haves rather than goals, I feel like, for myself. Now this year, I actually don't have a lot of art related ones. I know this is an art channel and I'm not trying to go off brand, but being too busy for art can be another aspect of being an artist in today's society. And I want to share my most authentic experience with you. At the top of my list this year is buying a house. My boyfriend and I are in an extremely privileged position where we've saved and prepared enough to a point where we can hopefully purchase a home in 2024. I don't want to go into too much detail about it because it's not just my goal, it's also my boyfriend's, and I want to respect everyone's privacy. But I would love to share some of the decorating process. I hope to do a lot of DIY stuff, some art stuff, making art for my home. I hope that sounds interesting to you, but if it sounds atrocious, please let me know. I can totally understand if that sounds boring and you just want to hear about animation, because that is what this channel is about. But if you want to see some at-home art kind of making, maybe that'll be fun to make too. The thing about buying a home is, especially if it's your first one, it takes a lot of mental and physical time, space, and work, and there probably just won't be enough time for me to do a lot of art stuff outside of that, and that's okay. There's going to be a lot of seasons of life where I'm calmer and where I can focus more on internal improvements like my art skills, and there's going to be times where I'm going to need to build on external things, and that's everyone. Sometimes things that are going to bring you equity or financial stability are going to have more priority over working on your art, and that's totally fine, because we live in a capitalist society where we need to grow our wealth, and it's not always the most fun, but necessary regardless of what your career is. Artists or not, being able to support yourself and be financially literate is essential for succeeding. And that's why one of my other goals this year, or one of my nice to haves, is working with other brands. I love bringing free content through my social media channels, but I spend so much time making content. Getting brand deals would help me continue to justify making all this content. And of course, I want to keep my channel authentic and only work with brands I love, and I think that you will too, and keep like 90% of the work I do free for everyone to enjoy. But at the end of the day, content creation is also a big part of my life, and having some extra funds would enable me to keep doing a lot of it for free, which I hope you can understand. So next year, I'm really going to try and work on my outreach, which would be branding, cold emailing, stuff like that to attract brands, and try and track them to my page specifically. So enough with the boring ones. I don't have no art nice to haves next year. I have a couple. 2023 was definitely the first year since COVID that I felt like I could create. I have been creating for the past few years, but it hasn't felt the same. I don't know if anyone else has dealt with this. For the last few years, I've been dealing with a lot of anxiety, I guess, about the unnecessary nature of art. My work isn't like a doctor's or a lawyer's. No one technically needs art. It, of course, adds to life. Don't get me wrong. I understand the necessity of art, but feeling that has been a totally different struggle for me. And I know how important art is. I really do. I'm not trying to discredit artists out there, but believing that for me as an artist has been a struggle. It made it really hard to create anything. I couldn't justify the time and money I was spending on something that at the end of the day, for the last few years, just didn't mean anything to me. Even if my art was going out to someone who maybe really loved it, like it wasn't enough for me to justify why I was doing it. I think I was really dealing with some poor mental health the past few years too. It was just really hard after the pandemic. But this year I really kind of felt like I got my mojo back a little bit. I finally felt like I was creating and it was fulfilling to me. I guess that was also the problem the last few years. I just felt like I wasn't getting anything out of creating art. It wasn't fulfilling me. It was just kind of stressing me out and draining me. But this year I finally felt like I was telling stories in a way that I could share unheard voices and share history and connect with people all over the world. And I finally started to see that again this year, which was nice. I was really grateful for that. Like this year, I was able to make a short film and a children's book, and I really enjoyed creating again this year, and I would like to continue doing that next year. So next year, I really would like to make a short film again. I started working on it, and it's been really fun. I'm super superstitious, so I can't say anything about the story yet. I don't want to jinx it or anything, but I've really been enjoying the creation process, and it's been really nice to just work on something for me, not have to worry about if it's going to sell well or anything. It's for me. I might do some film festivals with it, but it's just going to be fun. And next year, I also want to make some more products. I started working on making some journals and planners last year, and I definitely want to make more. It was really fun to have something to hold at the end of the day. And I think when your job is just all digital, like animation or digital art, it's hard to really understand that you've created something. So when you have something to hold after you work, it's very satisfying to feel like you've done something. And so far I've only done like journals and planners mostly that I can put on Amazon, and they're accessible that way. But at the end of the year, I think I would like to expand, hopefully to maybe some stickers or some tote bags. I just think it'd be kind of fun to have some different products out there. And yeah, those are my nice to haves for next year. I know that it's not a lot, but I think the nice to haves in themselves will probably be a lot for me. So hopefully there'll be a lot of little things that I accomplish with these bigger ones. As we close this video and with it the year 2023, I want to extend a heartfelt thank you to all of you who've joined me on this journey, especially my patrons who helped me create so much free content. While 2023 had its fair share of challenges, it's important to remember that each year brings its own set of experiences, both sweet and not so sweet. And as we look forward to 2024, I'm really excited to embark on new adventures and bring you along with me wherever it takes me. Thank you for being a part of my 2023. Your support and engagement have meant the world to me. As we step into 2024, I invite you to continue this journey with me, through all the ups and downs, through all the art and life adventures, and hope you have a wonderful year full of growth, creativity, and new beginnings. Happy New Year, and see you in the next video.